Hey guys, so I wanted to do a stream about Gudetama. Now, Gudetama is a Sanrio character. You might have seen him floating around. He's really cute, but he is really the symbol of depression. Now, I want to show you guys this character. So he basically lays down, he goes meh, he lies down with his smartphone, he kind of just pats his head, goes to sleep. He says, like, let me go, I can't. He's a lazy egg. See that stuff? Now, the most triggering one, like this doing my best. Where is this? There's the one that's like, seriously, I can't. Hold on. Find it. So he says, can't be helped, have zero motivation today. And then what else do we have? Take it easy, fight procrastination day, meh, do it tomorrow. You guys kind of get how this egg is. Where is it? The future I can't. Now, backstory with this guy, this character is extremely popular. And the reason why he's popular is I think that he resonates in with a lot of people. And what it is, it touch upon laziness and fatigue and depression, and it's a very, very relatable character. Now, the problem with this character is that when you look at this character and you think, oh, it's okay that Gudetama is depressed, it kind of gives you yourself the pat on the back, like it's okay for you to be depressed. You see where I'm getting at? So I have a bunch of Gudetama stuff. I used to be a big fan of Gudetama, and you guys know, right, my back history with depression. And when I was corralling up my plushies because I'm gonna be selling my plushies tomorrow. I saw my Gudetamas and then I looked at it and then I just thought, you know what? I gotta sell like almost all my Gudetamas. I'm gonna keep the sentimental ones, but I'm gonna sell almost all my Gudetamas because I don't want this kind of energy around. I don't want to have this like lazy egg, this, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow kind of egg, the, oh, I'm just gonna lie back and, enjoy my life kind of egg. Just, oh yeah, there's a little gross one over here. Uh, be in my life because I think it's extremely negative. I think it's toxic to have this kind of mindset around us. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people, when you give yourself a free pass like this, and take it from me, self-reflection, you will notice that as you go on through life, yeah, you can spend all day in your bed. Life will go by you and you're going to get older and you will look back at your life and you will say, well, what did I accomplish in my life? What did I do in my life? And the answer will be most likely, if you stay like a Gudetama, not much. This is something that I think people need to focus on because when you look back at life, I think people want to say, well, what are the things that I had? What are the things that I saw? What are the things that I experienced? And you don't get that if you really just stay within your comfort zone, which I'm extremely, extremely guilty of. And I feel bad about it. And when I feel bad about it, I can either do one or two things, right? I can stay in my little Gudetama mode and I can say, oh, I'm just going to lie down in bed and I'm just going to get depressed, or I'm just going to put my head under the pillow or under the sheet and just, uh, you know, kind of just like go into my little hole. Or I can face the world and say, yeah, I'm a little wobbly right now. I don't feel that confident. I don't feel that happy right now, but I'm gonna try and be better. I'm gonna stay away from the bed. I'm gonna stay away from the computer. Uh, I'm gonna try and focus more on my life actively. This kind of the ladder that I'm talking about, even if you don't find it as fulfilling, I can almost guarantee you guys that you will find your life to be happier if you do it my way, which I'm recommending, right? Get out of your comfort zone, force yourself out of your comfort zone, then stay in your zone. So that's what I'm doing. I am doing that kind of thing, and it's simply because I just don't. I can't stay in my comfort zone. If I stay in my comfort zone, then it's gonna cause issues down the line. And another thing that I want to touch upon is you got to think about the bigger picture. Okay, think about this. Okay, let's say you're single now. Let's just say, right, you're single now, or let's say you're not single, right? Let's just say you're single now. Let's go with that, right? You're single now. Let's say you go to work, and then you go to work, and then you go home, and then you game, and then you do the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? You don't have that much hobbies. It's just make money, go to work, game. Make money, go to work, game. You can do this stuff, right? You can get a lot of money. You can amass lots of money. But at the end of it, when you turn maybe 60, 65 years old, you are going to look back at your life and say, what did I do in my life? Well, I went to work, saved money, and gamed. Do you think, and this is just going to be me being very frank here, do you think if you're single, people will look into you and say, oh, wow, look at that person. Man, I'm really interested in them. Oh, so what do you do? Okay, I go to work. Oh, okay. And what else do you do outside of work? I game. Okay, and then I hang out with friends. Okay, and that's it. You see, it's kind of flat. I'm not saying that people have to be like this like limited in hobbies. But what I realize is that like the more hobbies that you amass, even if you freaking suck at it, okay, it makes you a little bit more interesting, just a little bit, like each little hobby. So you guys know, right? I play toreba, I win stuffed animals, and for me, I like winning them because I like arcade games kind of thing. But outside of toreba, right, what else do I like to do? I actually like the idea of selling my plush. Yes, I used to sell things online before, and then I had to like shut down my small little business when I moved to New York. But other than that, it's like a small little thing that you have a hobby and you have like a little bit of joy in it, and you get to see, like, hey, you go through the motions and it pads your bank account, or right, you learn a new skill, you have a little bit more experience. It's a little bit more a talking point. I would suggest you guys immerse yourself in different things. I don't really like reading books. I prefer watching documentaries over reading books, but I do read articles, I do read Reddit. I'm trying to force myself to focus on being more up to date about certain things, like 10 minutes a day, and just like kind of gloss over things and maybe learn something new every day. And I do learn something new every day, but it's not as focused every day. It's kind of like just casually browsing that kind of stuff because I really don't want to be like a Gudetama. I've lived so many years of my life like a Gudetama, and it's just not, it's just not good. You just become boring. You become boring. You become kind of blase, as my mom would have said. And when people look at you, they'll be like, that person's just kind of existing in life. And it's not an attractive quality. Seriously, think about the bigger picture here. Let's say, like I said, let's say you're single, and then what are people going to say? People are going to say, oh, yeah, I'm dating a person, and they just kind of go to work, and then they game, and then that's it. Now, I think it'll be more attractive, personally, if a person says, I go to work, I work out, I try to learn more about diet. I'm trying to get in better shape. I'm trying to study things about fashion. Sometimes my fashion is hit or miss. I try to learn new things. Right now I'm reading up about, I don't know, mummies, Egyptian mummies. That's pretty cool. Kind of weird, but kind of cool. And, you just like have more and more things. You could say you're a foodie. You can say that you like checking out restaurants every so often, and this gives you, of course, more stuff than just one thing. So all this stuff, all this things is just so important, in my opinion, for people to just live a more fulfilling life. No, no, I think that here's the thing, okay? I've known people very, very close to me, including myself. It is so easy to go into the echo chamber of just saying, okay, I'm just gonna basically stay in my little corner of the world and I'm not going to turn around. I'm just going to focus on just being, let's say, on a computer or just game for hours upon hours a day and just do the bare minimum kind of thing. But those kind of qualities, in my opinion, does not make an attractive person. People like, let's put it this way, okay? When you watch a movie, does the main character just go on Reddit and go on the computer? No, they have more attractive qualities than that. They're probably like working out, learning a new skill, trying to better themselves. They kind of look like a badass or something like that. All that stuff. There are they have attractive qualities in them because we can see that drive and that motivation and that persistence. I'm encouraging people to try and walk in the footsteps of those kind of people. And it's going to be hard. Like, frick, look at my life, right? Like, my life, I have to go and find a job and basically start from scratch. And I'm just thinking, like, oh, frick. Oh, this stuff again. Oh, geez. I'm kind of cringing about it because, I hear about the job market situation and I'm just like, times are tough in Hawaii, let me put it that way. So, I am just kind of psychologically revving myself up about that. And I got to put in the work. I got to start applying for jobs and looking for things. And then also, I'm working out, I'm exercising every day, trying to be on more on point with my diet. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to add more stuff in my life. I would love to just wallow in depression. I really would. But I can't do that right now. I really can't. I don't want to live my life, 33 to 43, just thinking like, oh, my life sucks, my life sucks, my life sucks. I can't. Because before I know it, right, I'll be 43 years old. And when I'm 43 years old, if I go, I can't, if I'm just like Gudetama, then I'm going to turn 53, and then 63, and then 73. And then I don't want to live a whole life where I just told myself, I can't. I think a lot of us, we shortchange ourselves. And when we shortchange ourselves, hold on. When we shortchange ourselves, we really shortchange our destiny. See, the future I can. This is a very, very popular image. I used to think that this was really cute, but now I truly believe that people need to avoid Gudetama. If you guys have Gudetama stuff, like, get rid of your Gudetama stuff, donate it, because you don't want that energy around you. If you are around people, let's say you're around people who encourage you to be better, and it's a more effective thing than being around either your own brain or being around, this kind of caricature over here. I also see sometimes when people play video games, right? They kind of think to themselves like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to use my powers, I'm going to train, I'm going to level up, I'm going to get experience." Let me ask you this, right? Why are people so drawn to improving their character in video games but not themselves? I think it's because people don't want to really put in the work for their own life. I think a lot of people give up on their own life, but then when it comes to like a zero level character, they get all hyped up. They think to themselves like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna like start this character and I'm gonna put hours upon hours trying to level up, buying the gear, training, learning spells, learning skills, upgrading my stamina, my dexterity, my uh, HP, whatever it is, that sort of stuff." And people love it. People love the idea of being able to control like a video game's character and then dress them up and then make sure they always look good, upgrade their gear, trying to make them look cool. But their own personal life, right? Are people investing that much time into their own bodies? I don't think so. I really don't think most people would do that. I think most people wouldn't look at themselves with such zeal and such excitement to kind of think to themselves, okay, let me see how well I'm doing today. Okay, let me level up today. Okay, yeah, let me spend a couple hours trying to hunt or refine my skills. Like, a lot of people just think to themselves they can't. They think, seriously, I can't. My future, I can't. So that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say about this stuff. And if you guys have a Gudetama in your life, or if you're thinking about giving a Gudetama character, just don't pick up this character. Pick up Hello Kitty. Pick up cinnamon roll, pom pom pudding, that kind of stuff. Just don't pick up Gudetama, because I think the more people who listen to a Gudetama kind of mentality, the more depressed people we will have, the more encouragement of depression we will have, and also uh, the more cyclical cycle of negative feedback. I think we're gonna have that more in the world. No, I haven't watched Fight Club yet. I honestly think that when it comes down to impressing people, what we should do is we should try and think, what kind of life do we want to live? How do you envision yourself, right? If you close your eyes and you can make your own, you could redo your life, right? You can redo your image of yourself. Let's say you're like 300 pounds right now, right? Close your eyes and say, if you could be any weight, have any body, how would you see yourself? Would you really see yourself as 300 pounds? Would you like to be like that buff person who's clocking in at like 160 or so? I think people like to think of themselves as buff. I think people want to think of themselves as attractive and alluring. And I think people want to think of themselves as like, yeah, they walk down the street and all the heads turn. Or, people are like, oh, wow, look at that person. Jeez, they look so chiseled. I think people, and this is just my thinking, right? I think people would be more confident wearing things like shorts if they worked on their body, because they would say, I worked damn hard for this body. I worked very hard to wear this sports bra, to walk around casually, and I'm going to wear it because I know I look good. You say, like, if you know you have a good body, it'll be natural for some people to want to show it off. But if you don't feel like you have a good body, chances are you're going to say, okay, let me wear some oversized stuff. Let me just be very kind of baggy. Let me hide my body so that way people don't notice me. And I don't think people should kind of look into this. I don't think people should kind of encourage themselves to just kind of hide within themselves. I think people need to say, like, hey, do you really want to live a life like that? Do you really want to live a life wearing baggy clothes and just being all like, okay, I'm just going to be stuck in my head, or just, be like a Gudetama? I don't think that really makes people happy. I think people just delude themselves into thinking that's happiness, but I truly believe people really want more out of life. It's just hard for them to see themselves as getting more out of life because they're so conditioned to think of themselves as like that's all they're going to do in life. That's all they can accomplish in life. But really, you can do more in your life if you really push yourself and you're not afraid about putting yourself out there. I had someone who reached out to me online, and they don't know, they don't know my username or anything like that, but they reached out to me and they were just asking me a question. They said that they noticed that I posted somewhere, and they were asking me like, hey, do you know any good spots in New York to go dumpster diving? And I politely told them, I said, hey, I'm moving from New York. So unfortunately, I can't be your dumpster diving buddy. But if you're interested, here you can check out this group. And then I thought to myself, oh, that sounds kind of blunt. And then I said, they're really, it's a really good tour. It's like a freaking dumpster diver tour. I went there once. So that person, right? That person who reached out to me, as silly as it sounds, I really admired them because I thought they're reaching out to me anonymously. They don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. But they're saying, like, hey, I think that it's cool that you're doing this thing. And I want to do what you do. Can I tag along with you? Can I learn from you? And there's something so vulnerable but so attractive about that. I truly believe that. You don't get that kind of feeling from like a Gudetama, right? Like if you say, oh, hey, do you want to learn something new? Oh, I can't. So that's what I'm talking about. Like this kind of like negative Gudetama mindset, you are not going to win at life that way. People will not respect you for having a Gudetama lifestyle. In fact, people may actually laugh at you. They might actually snicker behind your back. And you might think that you don't care about that stuff, but deep down, I think people want to be respected in the world. They want people to to think about them and not just see them as a waste of space or a waste of matter. They want people to just kind of to converse with them, and they want people to, have more value in the world. So that's one of the reasons why when I talk about this stuff, right? Like, I'm telling you guys, like, hey, I didn't have a job for like about almost, yeah, 2.5 years or so. People judged me a lot for it, and it wasn't a good space. I had people were like, what, that kind of thing. Like, man, you're a person of like low worth, you're not working, how come you're not working? Like, is there something wrong with you? Like, what contribution do you have to society if you're not working? If you're not saying like, oh, I retired, then it must be that you're a loser. And I've kind of thought to myself, like, there's only two ways I can get out of this, right? This whole predicament if I don't want to work. It's either A, I make a lot of money, or B, I just block off those people. But I don't want to live a life where I'm just saying I'm skating by in the world. So I guess the only way I'm gonna be able to get out of my to not work would be to make a lot of money. And I can be very, very frank about that. The world is not a kind place when they find out that people don't work, especially if you are in your 30s. They judge you extremely harshly. They think there's some kind of mental deficit in you. And people, they might look at you and just say, like, what's wrong with you? It's terrible. It's really terrible. And yeah, psychologically, it got under my skin at some point because I remember someone had asked me, like, do I work? And then I said, no, I don't work. And the response that I gave, right? They just said, you're joking, right? And it was such a judgmental, condescending thing. Like, they are, old enough to be my dad. And I remember thinking to myself, like, they think I'm a joke. They think I'm a joke because I don't work. And yeah, so what I had said is, I try, they said, like, oh, so what do you do? And then I told them, I said, I try to make Lewis's life easier. And I was just, very, upfront and honest about it. Like, and they said, like, you're joking, right? It shocked me. It really shocked me, and it hurt me so much because I thought to myself, this is a person who makes a lot of money, has a lot of experience, and they have the audacity to tell me in my face and just laugh, like, just to chuckle. So I couldn't say anything. I can't say anything in that situation because it comes off as very rude. What am I going to say? Like, what, how come you're so rude to me? Like, you have to understand the dynamic here, right? They're seeing a person who's not working, and then they are working, and they're a lot more in a higher position than me. So they just see me as like this low level loser over here, and I don't have stature. So it made me feel really, really bad, and it got under my skin. So, I mean, like, think about it, right? If this person is old enough to be my dad, you would think that they would have a sensitivity chip somewhere. But yeah, no, I don't think this person had to work. I think that they just like the money. They were making a lot of money an hour, and I'll leave it that. Like, they made a lot of money. So it's not like they're jealous of me. There's no reason to be jealous of me. So people see certain things and they just think to themselves, like, hey, let me just make these kind of comments. So, what can I say? What can I say about that? I can't say anything to it. That's the thing where you just keep your mouth shut, because if you say anything, you will escalate the situation. And I didn't want to escalate that situation. I just thought to myself, I never want to talk to this person again. because, if I say anything and I said, you're so rude, then it would cause maybe some tension. And I just took it. Now, you guys, again, I know some of you guys will say you should have said something, Erica, but there were reasons. There were reasons why I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to make a scene or anything like that. Oh, you that those, yeah. So that's why for me, moving forward, I always want to have a job or something like something, because I don't want anybody to think like, oh man, this chick must be on like, I don't know. It's like she must be like mooching off the government or something like that, or mooching off someone, and she's just low value. And yeah, it's just like I know that insecurity. I felt that insecurity, and it stung. It stung. So don't think that if you guys are female, right? Don't think like, hey, if you're a female, you can just, you can say these kind of things, right? And you can just be like, oh, I help make so and so's life easier, um, and a male figure will understand. No, the male figure might laugh at you in your face. So yeah, I have all this like learning experiences, and I rather just have something, some gig or something on the side, so I never face that kind of embarrassment and shame and kind of thing in my life. Um, and I encourage you guys to also think about improving yourself, because as tempting as it is to be good at Tama, remember, you have to think, do you think that you're an attractive person? Seriously, like if you are, let's say, living life, right? Do you want people to think of you as a loser, or do you want people to think of you as interesting or something like, engaging, or, well read or something like that? Whatever it is, whatever it is. And I just don't want to be seen as a Gudetama anymore. I'm tired of being the Gudetama. I'm tired of just being seen as like the possible incompetent loser, doesn't have high intelligence. Some people think that I'm really stupid. Like the people that don't know me, they just think like, oh, she seems kind of dumb. Like dumb. She must be dumb. She doesn't have a job, so she has to be dumb. She has to be really dumb. Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want that. I think that with a job or without a job, I do think that I don't have low intelligence. I think I am emotional, as you guys know. But in terms of intelligence, I wouldn't say that I have like low IQ. If there is something that I am really focused on, like I have this weird thing about being like super focused on it. And yeah, so I'm trying to put together my life, trying to figure out like, hey, now that I'm in this uncomfortable territory, what do I do? And I want to just reinvent myself. I know that sounds stupid, but it's not really reinventing myself, but it's like getting rid of my Gudetama and just being a better person. Being a more physically fit person, being a more put together person, being a more educated person, being a more, a person who has a great job, and I can just, maybe one day I'll buy my own place. I don't know if that's, I hate to say it this way, but like with the prices of houses being over $1 million, it's not looking too feasible about me buying my own house by myself, not gonna lie. But I would like to have my own place one day. I would like to have it look beautiful and minimalistic and sleek, and maybe if I'm still doing YouTube videos during that time, have my own little cheap studio. I know, you guys are probably thinking like, what? A studio room for your little low monetization channel? Yeah, I like my little YouTube. So all those things, right? All those things. I have this image of myself in my mind, and it's different from how I am. I think that I'm just got so used to the Gudetama thing that I'm doing such a disservice to myself, and I think I look so unattractive in comparison to other people, because then people would say, yeah, she's nice, but she's a Gudetama. It's cute, but it's a Gudetama. And if someone is actually like, if you actually, let me put it this way, if you had to select between two different people, right? Let's say you pick three people. You have one Gudetama who's really nice, but you got one other person who's nice but also hardworking, and then you got another person who's nice, hardworking, and interesting because they have a lot of hobbies and a lot of topics that they can talk about. Which one would you pick? You wouldn't pick the Gudetama, right? You'd be out like, they're cool, but they're kind of lazy. Yeah, if I have a kid with this woman, yeah, I don't want my kid to be a Gudetama. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the best that I can get. So, all that stuff, right? All that stuff. Like, think about the bigger picture here. It's not just about what you find comfortable. It's like you have to think, what is your end goal in life? Do you want to just be a good etama and just live alone, die alone, be single, never have a kid? Or do you actually want to look back at your life and say, yeah, I kept working on myself, and then I got better and better and better, and then I became more attractive, and then I became more charismatic, and I became more, physically fit, and yeah, then I became suddenly a highly attractive person out of the blue. Like, people just could not believe, like, wow, she had a glow up kind of thing. And that's what I want for you guys too. Like, if you guys feel like you are being a good etama right now, seriously, like, just build upon habits. Just make sure you keep moving forward and don't have this I can't attitude. I'm totally fine with someone says like, hey, I keep trying and I constantly freaking fail, but I'm like a pro failure over here kind of thing. I just want to keep trying to do better. And I think if someone said that that's how they view life, I would think that's way more attractive than a person who just says, I like to stay in my comfort zone. So, this kind of bigger picture. And like I mentioned, right? I mentioned this stuff because I imagine a lot of people in my chat are either in relationships or looking to be in relationships. And I just want to just tell you guys straight up, you will be much more attractive if you are working on yourself actively, even if you say like, hey, I'm trying to hit the gym like twice a week. I'm trying to lift weights and, I'm seeing results and I'm progressing. That is so much more attractive than a guy who says, yeah, I don't go to the gym. Yeah. I would actually argue, and some people may disagree with me here, but you guys know, right? I'm about 5'4", I'm about 120 pounds. I really think one of the reasons why I am not higher rated in terms of attractiveness is because I don't go to the gym. I think that when people say, hey, tell me about your habits. Like, what is your hobbies? Do you go to the gym? I think once I say, like, I don't go to the gym, people are like, what the hell? Like, no, I want to be with like, I hate to sound crude, like a bangable woman. I want to be with a woman who takes care of herself. I don't want to be with a woman where if I knock her up, she gets fat and she can't lose the baby weight because she doesn't go to the gym. Like, I want a woman who can bounce back. That's what I feel like guys want. And I think that's what guys want as well. You don't want to be with a woman who, let's say she's skinny and she gives birth, she gains 50 pounds, and then she spends the next 6 years trying to burn off that weight. Because if you're a guy, depending on how you feel, you might say like, man, she was like nice and skinny, and now she's like she's not so skinny anymore. She looks like she just gave up on life. Jeez, and that's the mother of my children? Gosh. And then you wonder why the divorce rates are so high, right? Because then the guy's going to say, yeah, she was okay when she was skinny, but man, she just couldn't shed the baby weight. Gosh. And that sounds so incredibly shallow, but I truly believe that this is the reason why some women, after they give birth, they get divorces. You guys might criticize me a lot for this thinking, but I truly believe it. I truly believe that if you do not work out as a female, then you can pretty much say, like, unless you are like naturally gifted in your body and you naturally have a nice figure, I think you can really kiss a lot of marriage prospects away, because people will just see you as like not fit to raise a child. So, and again, I'm not a fat person, right? I'm like 5'4" and 120 pounds. I think my measurements are something like 30, 25, and 33, something like that. So, it's not big at all. No, I mean, like, okay, so are you just saying it's the baby weights the cause for the divorce? Okay, here's the thing, okay? You gain weight. Let's say you're a woman, you gain weight, right? The guys, let's say the guy's really attracted to you. He's like, oh, you know what? It's okay. I like your body. It's fine, right? You gain weight, and then you have a kid, right? The guy looks at you, and if he sees you, he might see that you packed on like 30, 40, 50 pounds, and then he'll just see you like look all haggard. You think he's really gonna wanna put his, like you know, his corn cob in you? Like, no. He's gonna be like, why am I even bothering with this chick? Like, yeah, she had my kid, but she doesn't look good anymore. Like, yeah, I don't wanna like she's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger if she has more kids. And you see women fall into this trap. I know you guys have seen this. And I'm not saying these women are like bad women, but I'm saying in terms of like attractiveness, like if you gain weight and you cannot burn off the weight and your body doesn't move back, I think the male will see you in a different light. He's going to look at a woman who didn't give birth, right? Who goes to the gym and he'll be like, "Man, I wish my wife looked like that." Yeah, that looks good. You know what? You know what? I think I'm going to go for that hot woman. She looks like she takes care of herself. And I'm going to dump my wife, or I'm going to dump, my baby mama. Yeah, I'm going to go for that woman. I don't want that kind of stuff. I don't want to put myself in that situation at all. So that's why I am working out. I am exercising more because I never want to look back at my life and say, I think one of the reasons why you know, I I got, let's say, if I got into a relationship and I got divorced is because I couldn't burn the baby weight. No, you don't know this kind of stuff. You can't tell if a person will accept you after you give birth, right? There's no way of knowing it. There's no way of knowing it. But what I'm saying is that you're reducing the chances of this happening if they if you work out. Like, yeah. For instance, right? If you don't go to the gym and you gain, like I said, if you gain 50 pounds because of pregnancy, the guy's going to have less faith in you burning off that weight because you don't go to the gym. But if you do go to the gym before pregnancy and after pregnancy, right, after you give birth, yeah, it might take you a year to burn off that weight. I don't know how long it takes to burn off pregnancy weight now. But the guy will see you in a different light because he'll say, oh, she's trying to burn off the weight. I guess it's taking her a little bit of time. There's a difference there. I also think, though, it's toxic for women to be expected to burn off the baby weight in like 2 months or so. I've seen it, right? You've seen celebrities like, oh, she bounced back after 5 weeks, her stomach is flat again. Again, I've never been pregnant, so I don't know how long it takes typically to burn off the weight, but I think 6 weeks is kind of insane to like pop out a human and be like, I got a flat stomach again. Yeah. You know what, Teresa? You're telling me like go to the gym with a newborn. I can tell you what I would expect to hear. It's like, so what? You want, go to the gym with a newborn? It's like, what? Are you feeding the kid all day? No, you can take time to lift some weights, but you choose not to. You see, like that's how it can be used against you. You're going to tell me you're taking care of that newborn 24 hours a day? You can't work out for 20 minutes? You can't lift some weights for 20 minutes? You can't do a few sets throughout the day? You're sitting on your butt watching TV? And that's what, I pick up. That's the kind of stuff that I pick up, that when you read about certain things online and like these women, they say like, man, I gained some weight, and then I just couldn't, I just didn't have the energy to lose the weight, and then I had another kid or something like that, and the guy just is so unforgiving about it. I don't think it's easy for pregnant women to bounce back. This is just my personal opinion. But I think, again, you have much more of a success rate if you go to the gym before pregnancy, during pregnancy, and after you give birth, because at least there's a hope that you will look better and your body will bounce back. I'm not saying women have to look like they're like a sports fitness model. I'm not saying that at all. But just having that motivation and that drive to work out, I think does wonders. So that's why I don't think I'm going to just like take it easy on exercising. I think I'm going to just exercise more and more, because at this point of my life, right? Me being 33 years old, getting into 34, I have to be very cognizant about certain things in my life, right? Yeah, having encouragement from your spouse would help too, especially if they work out with you. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Don't marry a shallow ass wife. You know what the thing is, Brian? I don't think some people can help themselves. Well, like, you're not gonna deny it, right? What would you rather be with? A woman who has a banging body, or would you rather be with a woman who's like 30 pounds overweight? Your eyes are gonna instantly be more attracted to the fitter women. And I think part of that is because you look at the woman and then you'll say she's trying to do something with her life. You know, she's trying to progress. She's trying to look more sexually attractive. She's trying to look more physically attractive. She's trying to maintain her body. And there's something so exciting about that, I think. Just the people, you know, both men, just both males and females. So you can have like a mediocre body, I think, but as long as you say like, "Hey, I go to the gym," and you can see there's some muscle tone, I think it goes very far. You think you get to sit around when you have a kid, your body changes after being pregnant. Having a kid, I had to carry an arm of my kid like the first 2 3s of his life. Here's the thing, Teresa, right? People will say, well, yeah, you carried the kid, but you weren't carrying the kid all the time. So yeah, there are some women out there who work and then they have a kid and then they can bounce back in pregnancy shape. I'm not saying it's easy, but I've seen it. And I don't know how they do it. Again, I've never been pregnant. But the fact that this exists, I think it sets a standard that if you have a, a wife and she can't burn the pregnancy weight and she doesn't go to the gym, that's a her problem. You know, it's not it's just an excuse. If she can't burn the weight, that's because she's not putting the work in. She's not even trying. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like that inaction, that lack of drive and motivation to improve oneself is, I think, highly unattractive. But yeah, take it however you want. All I know is that having this kind of thing in my mind, I want to keep exercising because I'm just genuinely thinking like, yeah, I'm getting older. Weight is going to start creeping up, and me psychologically, I rather say, hey, yes, I do work out. Yes, I do exercise. Yes, I do try to invest in myself. Like, truly, the most expensive item that I have in my life is really myself. Like, that's my most important asset to protect. It's not stock portfolio, it's not a bank account. It's really myself and my own well-being. Brian says, I married 27 years, 3 kids, saw my wife in every shape and always loved her. Brian, I really believe men like you are very rare in this day and age. Now it's like, oh, she's not bangable anymore. Like, like dump her, like dump her. Like she used to be cute, and then she gained like 50 pounds, and then the corn cob doesn't work anymore, and then it's like, oh, why should I invest time in this woman when I can go with like a chick who's like super buff or like has like a tiny little waist, right? And that's why I think the divorce rate is so high. I really think a lot of it has to do with just physical fitness. Does a person take care of themselves? Do they improve themselves? Not just physical fitness, but also the mind as well. But also communication problems is very important. Communication issues is a big one too. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't say you like need to work out, say you are working out. Like you can do some home workouts. You get more success lifting weights than doing a home workout or doing going to the gym and doing some kind of machines. But you know, progress is progress. Once you start working out and you start getting muscle definition and it's noticeable, then people notice that too, and they're gonna say, "Damn, this person has more value in themselves because they work out." Yep, it's been this character's MO. So let's look over here really quickly. So this character came out 2010-ish, I think. See, so this is a very popular character. The future I can't. So let's see over here. See, I can't adult today. I can't. Yeah, so they're known as I mentioned, they're known as like the lazy depressed egg. See? Gudetama is a cartoon character produced by the Japanese company Sanrio. The name Gudetama is formed in two parts. The first is the ideophone gure, which is used to invoke the impression of something lazy and lacking energy. The second part is from the Japanese word, which means translate to egg. So alias is lazy egg. And is Gudetama depressed? It is a depressed egg. And laziness and depression are the main reasons why it's become a symbol of Japanese kawaii, which is cute culture. So people look at Gudetama and they think, oh, he's so cute, he's depressed. And nah, I don't want any like Gudetama stuff around. Like I will not buy Gudetama stuff because it's not mentally healthy for me. I need to move forward in life, not freaking stagnate. And you guys have to move forward in life too. You know, not just like where you are right now, but always just push forward more and more and more. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. I hope you guys learned something from the stream, talking about freaking going behind schedule. I haven't made dinner yet, and I gotta make dinner. I got about 20 minutes to make dinner. So I will talk to you guys later, and keep in mind what I say. You know, progress is good. Not progress is bad. Stagnation is bad. Deterioration is bad. And if you guys are, you know, you guys feel like your quality of life is lacking, or if you're feeling like insecure about yourself, like ask yourself, are you actually working on yourself or are you just maintaining? Because if you are that kind of person where you see pictures of people with great bodies and you wish that you had that kind of body, like you wish you could walk around in like short shorts and just, you know, have a nice little toned little waist and great arms, then you really should go for that. I don't think it's, I hate to say it this way, I don't think you have to be smart to work out. I really don't. But you just have to be consistent, and you gotta like stick to whatever the regimen is, like protein, carbs, whatever it is, right? Knowing, just like being determined. Because, for instance, I could be as dumb as a rock, but if I had a personal trainer or something like that, or if I knew what to do, right? Or if I just kept working at it, I would eventually get better and better and better, and I would look better because I put the work in, right? Like building muscle, you don't have to be a smart person to build muscle. You just got to be consistent. And I think there's like some guidelines that you follow, and that's it. So as long as you do that, that is you're going to get to your goal. You know, you constantly, let's say you're doing more reps, lifting heavier weights, you know, keeping your diet in check, like you're going to build bigger and bigger muscle. And the next thing you know, right? Maybe 2 years down the line, you look at your body and you're like, damn, I would bang me. Damn, I think I'm attractive. Like, I want to have that kind of life for myself. You know, I want to be that person. I know this sounds stupid, but I want to be that person who's like 55 years old with a great body that beats most 20-year-olds. But I got to put the work in. So thankfully, I'm about 120 pounds. I think I'm actually about 115 right now. So I'm not going to have like too much weight that I have to lose, but I definitely have to bulk up, and I definitely have to gain weight of sorts. And yeah, that's one of the criticisms that I hear that people say about my diet. They say, like, I don't eat enough, but I'm trying to drink more protein shakes and things like that. And whenever I work out, even if I feel very insecure about working out, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel a little better after it. Because it's like I tell myself, like, man, I freaking sucked at that workout, but at least I put the work in. And when you start seeing results, then you feel more confident, and then you think instead of I can't, you think that I can. And once you think that you can, that's when people start getting addicted and they say, let me see how far I can push myself. Right? It's like if you're in a car, if you press the gas pedal, you can go 5 miles an hour. You might want to go 25, 50, 75, 100, right? Because you know that you can do it. Anyway, so I will talk to you guys later. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want, what you guys think, and you guys take care. And don't become a Gudetama. Seriously, Gudetama